Have you ever had a subject that you feel is very hard? Have you ever tried to give it up because you just feel like you couldn't do it anymore? When I had turned 8 years old, I decided to learn Chinese. Unfortunately, Chinese was a really hard subject for me, and I didn't do well in either writing or reading. One day, while I was doing my homework, I decided to read the questions very carefully. However, I couldn't understand a single part of the question, and I thought to myself, why is Chinese so hard? Why I just can't get it? Am I just so bad at this? Should I just give up? That's when I started to have a fight with inner me. In the end, the working me and the lazy me got into a tie, and I decided that I'll just try to get through my homework as fast as possible, and I'll do the rest for in the next day. And in the next semester, we decided to write essays, but they were even harder. And for every single hour that it took for another person, it took me 2 or even 3 hours just to catch up. Then there were the tests. After every unit, we had a test, and we had grammatical and comprehensive questions that I also did not do well at. In the end, my average score was around a 36. One day, I decided that I had enough. I decided that I would just drop Chinese, and that was it. For the rest of the few weeks, I did feel that life became a lot more easier. I didn't have to waste a lot of time just to work on stuff that I still couldn't understand after years, and I finally had some free time to myself, all of which was consumed by my essays and test reviews. But in the midterm test, when I received the test, I took a look, and I saw that I couldn't do any of the questions. Out of all the questions that I could have done before, now only a small handful of them I could do. That day, I took home a big 0. I was too afraid to show my mom because I knew that if I did, I would be in big trouble. However, my mom could tell that I was not having a good day, and she walked up to me and asked, "Are you okay?" At first, I didn't want to say anything, but in the end, she convinced me, and I told her about how my test went. She just sighed and told me, "Ethan, you know this was going to happen. You didn't try your best, you didn't review, you didn't even give it a shot. This is expected. But do you want to make it better next time? I can teach you. You can ask me what you don't know, and I'll teach you." Luckily for me, I had a friend, Alan, who lives next door to me at middle school, and his Chinese, let's just say, was even worse. So we started to practice together. Day by day, we did assessments that my mom brought from home, and we tried our best. We learned. We fell, but in the end, we got a lot better than what we had started. Finally, on the end term test, I finally got a full mark. I was so excited. That was like the full mark I had gotten for the whole year. I ran home and showed my test score to my mom. She just smiled, gave me a thumbs up, but then she said, "What about your other subjects?" And I was like, "What? What other subjects?" And then she showed me my other grades, which had dropped significantly because I had spent all my time doing Chinese. And oh well, the story will go on. What I'm trying to say is, don't just give up because something is hard. If you quit, then that's the end. You're never going to learn it. But if you try, at least walk on the path, you'll fall. Believe me, you'll fall countless times. But every time you fall, you can get up. You know where you fell down. You can step up from it, make a change to it, and next time you won't fall on it again. Step by step, one day, you'll reach the end. Thank you.